Previously on St. Elsewhere.
Jack's trying to get us to make a deposit in the sperm bank.
Pass. I don't like the idea of my flesh and blood wandering around without me knowing.
Means you're pregnant.
All right!
I'm afraid the news isn't very good. Mrs. Valera did have a miscarriage.
Zoos have had better luck breeding pandas.
Wait a minute. There's no reason to give up hope.
Dr. and Mrs. Wayne Fiscus.
Dr. and Mrs. Wayne Fiscus.
If I make this, the wedding's off. Okay, 2 out of 3.
Fiscus? You're gonna marry that bubblehead?
I haven't been here in 15 years. The neighborhood's a bit worse for wear, and the hospital could use a facelift. When are they going to repaint your office?
They just did.
Oh.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Donald. Had to make sure everything was in order for Mrs. Endicott's arrival. Well, hello, Josiah.
Been a long time.
Not long enough. Imagine, a big Boston General hotshot. What are you, slumming?
Augusta Endicott is not only my patient, she's also a close personal friend.
So close, she won't let you operate on her again. After you botched her single bypass.
Mark, why don't you take Josiah down and show him that suite you prepared for Mrs. Endicott?
Sure. This way.
Goodbye, Don.
See you later.
For a woman of 74, she's unremarkable for a significant disease.
Well, at that age, another heart operation presents obvious risk.
Dr. Craig, your patient, Mr. Porter, in 5319, managed to score a greaseburger backed up with fries and a coffee shave. 3 hours later, he nearly exploded when it all hit his large intestine.
Get away from me, Erlich.
Well, where are these nurses when the patients are committing dietary suicide, huh?
This place still runs like a Rube Goldberg contraption.
Here we are. Does Mrs. Endicott understand that if we operate, she may not survive?
After all they've endured in life, the Endicotts believe that their destiny is firmly in God's hands.
Thanks for suggesting me to the family.
To be perfectly honest, I encouraged Mrs. Endicott to come to St. Eligius because when she dies, it'll be national news, and I don't want Boston General to take the heat. How quaint. I'll go to the lobby and wait for a limo.
The boys tell me this is all your idea, Mark. What the hell's going on?
Well, Mrs. Endicott is used to the best. I'm trying to make her feel more at home.
You might at least have had the decency to clear expenditures with me first.
What's with you, Daniel? Skip your prunes this morning?
For 50 years, the Endicotts have ignored the financial needs of St. Eligius. Now that they deign to come here, we're all supposed to become part of a dog and pony show. Well, I refuse to bootlick.
Oh, for crying out loud. You should be wearing slippers.
No, sir. I'm not saying that no one will notice, but it will grow back.
I just don't understand it. How can a person go into a hospital for wrist surgery and end up with a shaved head?
Look, you're Mr. S. Adams in room 5709. Now, the man in 5711, also Mr. S. Adams, he's in for a brain biopsy.
You incompetent tub of lard.
You don't understand. Look, S. Adams, adjacent rooms. I got the charts mixed up. Look, it could be worse. I mean, you could have had the brain biopsy, but of course you didn't. You know.
This is a real joke to you, isn't it, big boy?
No, sir, it really isn't.
What are you trying to do? Get into some asinine medical fraternity or something?
No. Do they have those?
How the hell am I supposed to go back to work looking like this? I'm an investment banker, and I look like I just had shock therapy.
No, sir. Actually, we don't do surgical prep for shock therapy. We don't even do shock therapy here anymore, so, you know.
I don't even want to look at your face.
Okay.
I'd like to take your big jumbo-sized shorts and stuff them down your throat.
Well, maybe later we can talk about it.
Well, what about June?
Oh, everybody gets married in June. My parents wouldn't be able to reserve a place for the reception.
December?
I thought myself as a December bride.
You're right. You don't look anything like Spring Byington.
Let's split the difference. September. Oh, but I don't know if that gives my mother enough notice.
I needed less time to prepare for the invasion of Normandy.
To Mom, a wedding is a military action. The strategic placement of men and material at a particular time and place for a desired objective.
Wayne, excuse me, can you take the patient in cubicle 2? I'm late.
For what?
Dr. Westfall's on my case and I'm running behind.
There are a million prenuptial decisions to make, and Mom agonizes over every one of them. Roast beef with capons, mums or gardenias, the seating arrangement, who's going to drive the priest?
Rabbi.
Judge.
Deal.
I gotta get back to surgery.
Well, honey, I'm sure whatever we would decide will be okay. Because you're the gorilla of my dream.
Mrs. Valere, sorry, I got held up.
Well, that's okay. Ken's not here yet anyway.
No, I mean, I really got held up. My wallet's gone.
Were you hurt?
Only to the tune of $7 in the last picture of my family. This has never happened to me before. What do I do?
Well, first thing, you call the police, then your insurance company, the registry of motor vehicles, and your credit cards.
Credit cards. I'm a guy who's only plastic. It's his demeanor. So as the man said, when you got nothing to lose.
Bob Dylan.
No. Floyd Shapiro, my barber. Hello, police. Yes, I'll hold. When you called the other day to say you're going to go through with the surrogate motherhood, it warmed my cockles.
Yeah, well, Ken and I really hit rock bottom after this last miscarriage.
The old marriage train pulling into divorce station. I've been there.
Well, the arguing's all but stopped. Only I'm not so sure that's good. You see, at least when we had the pressure of my trying to get pregnant, we were fighting. We had some passion. Now there's just resignation and plenty of space between us in bed.
Hello, yes, I'd like to report a stolen wallet. Of course, this is my real voice. What do you... Yes, I'll hold.
Wait to meet this woman. I wonder what's keeping her. I bet she's decided to forget about this whole thing. Dr. Ehrlich, what if I don't like her?
You're not signing any contracts today. This is just a how do you do. Actually, even if you go through the procedure, you never have to see her again.
I wish I could carry this child.
You will. 9 months. Yes, yes, the perpetration took place in the men's room at St. Eligius. Of course I had them on at the time. What do you mean? I have to come down there and file a report? No, 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 no. I'm a doctor. I have people's lives hanging in the balance. Yes, I'll hold.
Hello. Hi.
Dr. Westfall, please don't make me resign. It was a minor error in my opinion, one with a very logical explanation. Mr. S. Adams, okay?
Fine.
No, it was just a bad hairdo. I mean, I can't believe somebody would win a malpractice suit because he looks a little like Cyndi Lauper.
Doctor, you're going to have to excuse me. I don't understand what you're talking about.
You called to see me right away.
Yes, Dr. Valerie Harding. She does animal research over at Northeastern. She brought a baby gorilla down to the ER, and I remember your father's a veterinarian, right? And you've had experience in that, so I thought you might be able to expedite the whole thing.
Oh.
Yeah. Seems that Dr. Harding's pretty vocal about demanding an assist, so let's get her in and out as quick as we can, all right?
That's it? I mean, that's what you wanted to see me about?
Yeah, can you handle it?
Of course, yes.
Okay. All right, I'm due on rounds.
Dr. Westfall, would this count as part of my community service?
Get down to ER, will you?
I'm on my way. Yes, sir.
Here you go. Roland, why don't you stand there? And Walter, here. That's a nice tie. Is that silk? Yes, and Josiah, well, you're all right back there.
Good, I was worried.
Don't rain on my parade. It's not every day that the matriarch of one of America's most celebrated families is admitted to St. Eligius.
Morning, everybody. Hello, Josiah.
Good to see you. What are you doing out here?
I like the smell of power. Senator's a good-looking man, don't you think?
I heard he's gay.
Serious.
Mrs. Endicott, on behalf of the doctors, staff, and personnel, let me welcome you to St. Eligius. And although America hasn't yet had the chance to vote, we unanimously elect you Endicotts our hospital's first family. Mrs. Endicott, please
Dr. Craig, I'm going into this hospital the same way I intend to come out, under my own sail.
Good.
Senator Endicott, can we get a statement, please?
Chance to be on time.
Look out!
Stay back. Stay back.
That's enough, Minnie, dear. You can go now.
Let me give you a tip. If my name's to remain on that bill, your House's subcommittee will have to put back that handicapped school appropriation. Michael, leave that stuff alone.
Yes, Dad.
He wasn't bothering me, Gordon.
Okay, great. Yeah. I'll tell her.
Speaker sends his best.
Did I mention that Patricia's on her way up from Washington?
Yes, twice.
Jay and Christine are cutting short their vacation. They're due tomorrow. And the last time I talked to Gareth, he and Meggie were planning to arrive as soon as the jets refuel.
Okay. Time for your physical.
Will my using the phone disturb you?
Yes, but I'll have a nurse direct you to my office.
Gordon, you have a perfectly good office of your own on Beacon Hill. Go use it.
All right, Mother.
You take Michael with you.
I can't. Michael, you go find your brother and your cousin, and they'll take you home.
Dr. Craig, do you think that medicine victimizes the masses?
What?
I thought so. See you later. Take care of my Grammy. She's all I got.
Pardon me for saying so, but isn't he a bit,
Peculiar, but sweet. The Endicott family is like the Liberty Bell. Looks great in the distance. It's only when you come in close that you see the cracks.
How does it feel?
Hurts.
Maybe I can get extra credit for this in my paramedic training. Of course, a good head injury would have counted a lot more.
Dr. Secchi. Dr. Robert Secchi, OR2.
Great, Dr. Doolittle's here. Cubicle 2.
Very funny.
Oh, Elliot, I have a sprained finger in number 3. Do you think I should shave his whole head before putting his splint on?
Ha ha, yuckity yuck yuck.
You're pretty when you're angry.
Hi, you must be Dr. Harding. I'm Elliot Axelrod. I understand your gorilla needs attention?
Yes, his name is Dick. He's 5 weeks old. Isn't he the most adorable gorilla you've ever seen?
What seems to be the problem?
His mother, Pat, stopped feeding him 3 days ago. He's intolerant of formula, and he seems dehydrated.
Will you hold him still for me?
Sure. I'm doing a language research project, and I just don't have the proper setup for illness.
Here, let me hold him. Oh. It's been a long time since I held a baby gorilla.
Junior prom.
Please. It's amazing how working with animals helps relax me.
I know exactly what you mean.
Well, there's no visible signs of disease, but he is very dehydrated. And after some nourishment, I think he'll be fine. You know, I would really like to examine the mother.
Why?
And mothers don't stop feeding their babies for no reason.
You'd really come to the lab to check her out?
Sure, as soon as I get off.
Shave and a haircut. 2 bits.
Please. Besides, I could use a break from humans, if you know what I mean.
This is Jason. He's 9. And Julie is 8. And Matthew. Matthew tells everybody he's 6 3/4, but he's really 6 1/2. Stop it. Beautiful.
Gee, guys, I'm sorry.
It's okay, honey. He was late to our wedding, too. Hi, I'm Jennifer Sobinski.
Pleasure to meet you.
Is there anything you want to ask the mother in waiting?
What would make a woman want to be a surrogate mother?
Having kids is one thing I'm good at. So I thought, why not? Besides, I haven't seen a support check in about 3 months, and my kids could use the 10 grand. What happens next?
Well, if you all agree to the procedure, we can control Jennifer's cycle with female hormones, create a proper environment in her uterus to receive an embryo.
So my body will think I'm pregnant?
Exactly. Then we take an egg from Terry, some semen from Ken, and we fertilize the ovum in the laboratory. When enough cell division has taken place, then we can implant the embryo in Jennifer's uterus. A few days in bed, and you're pregnant.
And craving butterscotch ice cream. Oh, don't worry. My doctor said I've got to eat right and get plenty of rest and stuff like that.
And you've got to promise to surrender the child right after birth.
Mrs. Sabinski, $10,000 sounds like a lot of money right now. But when the baby's born, are you sure you're going to be able to give it up?
Mr. Valaire, I adore my kids. They mean everything in the world to me. And to help somebody else have a family, that's something I can be proud of. Speaking of which, I've got to get back to my own kids.
Well, I'll be in touch right after the Valairs make up their minds.
We already have. Let's do it.
Edie, if I'm asking for too much, you tell me.
I voted for your family in every state election.
So you'll do it?
No.
This is my grandmother's own recipe for flan. It would make her stay here so much nicer.
No can do.
Do you enjoy the Cape?
Who doesn't?
Would you like to see the compound? We got a kitchen you wouldn't believe.
How often does she eat flan?
Edie, where's the complaint box? There's no apple in my dumpling.
So this is where you hang out between marathons.
Dougie, how you doing? I didn't recognize you without your running shorts. What, are you working food service, no?
No, my grandmother just checked in.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Nothing serious, I hope.
Well, we don't know yet. We're waiting for Dr. Craig to finish some tests.
Oh, well, that may be quite a stall. Dr. Craig's focused full-time on Augusta Endicott. She's in for a heart rehaul.
Yeah, I know. That's my grandmother.
No kidding. You're an Endicott, as in power, charisma, and major trust fund?
Guilty.
God, I like you. Well, I wish I could have lunch with you, but I gotta run upstairs and perform in vitro. It's good seeing you.
Okay.
It's on him. Victor, look what I found.
Oh, Wayne! Oh. Where's my $7?
How am I supposed to know? You want to frisk me? Listen, while I'm here, do me a favor. Will you check the sperm freezer's temperature chart?
Worried Juanita defrosted the fridge by mistake, huh?
Well, just in case something happens to me down under, Mona and I will still be able to have a little fiscus or fiscarina. The sperm is kind of my genetic safety valve.
Fiscus, Wayne, tray 12, aisle 307. Sent down the lab this morning.
What for?
In vitro fertilization. Mrs. Tillman.
You mean some couple's gonna use my sperm to have a child?
Lighten up, buddy. It's not like somebody gave away your loving spoonful collection.
Well, how can you be so glib? I'm gonna wind up with some offspring out there somewhere.
Go back to the well.
A son, a daughter, with my genes, with my intelligence, with part of my soul. What did you say the name was?
Tillman.
I'm gonna put a stop to this.
Nice work, Boomer. Clean tear of the meniscus.
You sure?
Right here in black and white. Might as well get you on the OR docket and have your knee scoped.
I'd like a second opinion.
What for?
I don't want to go through unnecessary surgery.
The radiologist confirmed my diagnosis.
Well, a third opinion.
You don't trust my judgment.
Oh, no, it's just... Look.
No, wait a second. Do you trust my judgment or not?
No. Yeah.
Good. Then I say you should have the surgery.
I'd still like to talk to someone else.
Why?
A patient has the right to be 100% sure.
A patient. Okay. To a patient, I am a stranger. But to you, I'm a colleague. You either respect me or you don't.
I just want another opinion.
Fine. Start looking for one.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
Hi, I'm Sarah Preston, Mrs. Endicott's granddaughter.
You're not going to have that here, are you?
No, he's safe. I'm months away from the big drop.
Oh.
Listen, we would appreciate it if you'd use these sheets instead of the hospital linens. Gran will feel much more comfortable with Porthouse.
Sorry.
Porthouse, the name of Gran's sheets. Oh, I guess that must seem sort of odd. It's kind of like the princess and the pea. My grandmother would feel the difference.
Well, yeah, I guess you would, and I guess we wouldn't want that. All right, I'll change the sheets after the doctor examines them.
Oh, that'd be terrific. Thank you.
Coming. Where's my semen?
Where'd you leave it?
The bank sent the vial here by mistake.
Case number?
I don't know the case number.
Who's the doctor?
I don't know the doctor.
Obviously, if somebody's using your genes, they're not interested in having bright kids.
The patient's name is Tillman.
Oh, yeah. I just sent some solution up to Dr. Chandler for an in vitro.
My ship sailed without me.
Maybe he hasn't started yet.
Still time to cut him off at the channel. Chandler, where is he?
Exam room 3 doing an in vitro.
Why didn't you tell me?
Oh, whoa. He's with the patient.
I know, Mrs. Tillman.
Why don't you try knocking?
I have to speak to Phil.
Well, in 2 weeks, we'll know whether Mrs. Tillman is pregnant or not.
Oh, good.
What's going on, Fiskus?
Never mind.
Mr. Valeri did the right thing. You know, a lot of people think surrogate mothering's immoral. Heck, 300 years ago, it was a crime for a doctor to cut open a human body and remove diseased tissue. One person's heart beating another person's body would have been considered depraved and ghoulish just a generation ago. But if we can use technology to improve and sustain life, why can't we use it to create life where it wouldn't otherwise exist? Here you go.
I can't do this.
Torn meniscus. And a butte. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah. Hey, you got that baby, but good. Man, I'm hungry. Chocolate bar?
No, thanks.
Okay. Any rookie could have diagnosed that knee, short of chopping it off and going with one of these models. Arthroscopic surgery is your best bet. Someone tell you different?
No.
And what's the problem?
I've never had surgery before.
No tonsillectomy, no appendectomy, no stitches?
Not even a bloody nose.
Sounds like you've led a pretty boring life. What are you afraid of?
Dying. I know all the things that can go wrong. I've seen what happens. Mistakes in anesthesia, foul-ups in surgery, post-op complications, nosocomial infection.
Invasion from Mars? That's why God invented health insurance. Right after he created fear of the ridiculous.
I've got a small son. I'm worried something will happen to me.
Well, Morrison, I'm head of orthopedics. The buck stops here. If you die, I'll probably lose my job. Okay? Awful good. Well, you feel all better now that you've aired your fears? Then let's cut this crap, okay? Get yourself admitted, and I'll schedule you for scope time right away, okay?
Somebody's having a baby that's half mine and I'm not involved. It's weird.
Yeah.
Maybe to elope. We could blow out of here Friday after work.
I thought we were gonna get married in September.
Well, if we take the plunge now, we'd be welcoming our first child by Columbus Day. 3 years, we'd be able to fill the back seat of the station wagon with tiny tots and golden retrievers.
Slow down, Wayne. I don't know if I want dogs, and I certainly don't want children.
Of course you do.
No, I don't.
Well, that's insane. Everybody wants children.
Not me.
Then why are we getting married?
Wayne, we'll talk later, okay?
You're not sterile, Fiscus.
That's the point. You tie the knot, you have babies, the divine plan.
Who says? Children are a priority for me.
Well, before I die, I want to pass the baton on to a new generation.
And I want to have a career, a life of my own.
You call what you do a career?
For your information, Mona Polito was one of the finest scrub nurses I've ever had the privilege of working with. Knows her tools, knows her anatomy, knows her place. I said from the beginning, marrying this bubblehead is a mistake.
If you don't mind, Dr. Craig, keep out of this.
Yes, and you stay out of my OR, Fiscus. Now scram. Mona, let's get started.
Well, I hope you two are very happy together.
Scalpel.
It's just right there.
Okay.
I appreciate you taking Pete for the day.
Just like old times.
I didn't have anybody else I could call.
Spare me, Boomer. When you said you were having surgery, I was already halfway here.
Well, nobody seems to understand. If something happens, Pete won't have any. I'm scared.
I understand. I think you bring out the mother in me. How long are you going to be laid up?
We won't know until we get in there.
All right, I'll keep it as long as you want. I have Russian history class today. It's going to get us filled with Catherine the Great.
Hi. Who do you belong to? Silent type, huh? Shake hands? How'd you like to give your new friend a hug? I could sure use one.
I'm sorry I bothered you.
You his mom?
No, he doesn't have one. Come here, little Boomer.
Shame.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
So long, shortstop.
Here you go, Pete.
Where do you think you're going?
And the stories that Mrs. Endicott tells me about what's really going on in Washington are flabbergasting. The woman is fabulous.
I'm glad you two are getting along so well.
And when you think of what they've done for Boston.
For all Henry Endicott's philanthropy, he was totally without ethics in establishing that dynasty. There were misdeeds that would today land him in prison. Minimum security, no doubt.
Oh, Daniel, don't get preachy with me.
I watched that old man operate in this town. He was the worst of all parasites.
Well, Daniel, as long as she's a patient in this hospital, I don't think she should be victimized by her husband's reputation.
The family lives off the empire he built. Augusta Endicott is no better than any other patient in this hospital. She won't use her celebrity to get preferential treatment from me.
Well, if you don't mind, I am now going to get her preliminary test results. Okay?
I don't think I'm out of line.
Well, my friend, I think if you can't deal with the Endicott family, maybe you just better steer clear of them.
Well, I feel like I've just won the Kentucky Derby.
Next time I get sick, I only hope my friends respond with this much affection.
Oh, it isn't out of affection, but political acumen. Most of these lobbyists couldn't care less whether I live or die. Then why keep their gifts? Well, flowers do brighten up the room.
Helen, would you excuse us, please?
The verdict is in?
Well, besides the original bypass graft not working, there are several blockages of the blood flow to your heart. Now, we can manage the condition with medication, or we can do a quadruple bypass.
Are you telling me I should have the surgery or not?
Well, at your age, each option entails different risks and gains. There is recent evidence that surgery may prolong your life.
Since I married Henry, my life has flowed on the Endicott current. Perhaps now it's time to run a more natural course. No operation.
We've been doing experiments in autoerotic stimulation. Julio Iglesias, Frank Sinatra, that sort of thing. Poor Pat. The male gorilla just cut right through the courting process, proving that male gorillas are not interested in science.
I mean, there are people who actually fund this kind of research?
Yeah.
Amazing. Did you notice any unusual behavior changes once Pat gave childbirth?
Well, I just assumed that everything going on was a function of the postpartum adjustment. But what do I know? She's been alternating between a sort of giddiness and dullness. Sorry, Pat, but it's true.
What else?
In the last few weeks, she seems reluctant to sign with her left arm. Actually, she's been favoring her whole left side.
Any vomiting?
A couple of times.
You know, I could be wrong, but I think she may have a brain tumor.
God.
Now, we can get an x-ray, and if that proves positive, we can go ahead with a CAT scan. So we know for sure.
Well, before we go through the hassle of taking a 500-pound gorilla to the hospital, shouldn't you examine her first?
I don't know. I didn't bring my rubber gloves.
She won't hurt you, especially if you sing Strangers in the Night.
You're kidding.
Mm-mm.
Strangers in the night, exchanging glances, wondering in the night, what were the chances?
We're in, Morrison. Dead yet? There's your meniscus. Textbook tear. I'm just gonna poke around a little, though. You mind?
No.
You can open your eyes.
Oh, I hate this.
Let's talk about something else, then. The Celtics?
Don't follow sports.
Hobbies?
Don't have any.
Maybe we'll just let it rest. Whoops.
What's wrong?
Take it easy, take it easy. X-rays missed something. Looks like you went and tore the anterior cruciate ligament, too. Right there.
Now what?
I get home late and you're in for a long nap. When you wake up, you'll be wearing a nice white cast covering a dozen or so stitches. I've got to open up the knee.
I want a second opinion.
Okay, here you go. You're going on rotation in my department soon. If you don't shut up, you'll never make it through. There's your second opinion. What do you say? I thought so. Sweet dreams.
Mrs. Tillman? I'm Dr. Fiscus.
Hi. Can I help you?
Dr. Chandler told me to look in on you. How'd the in vitro go?
Oh, fine. It wasn't as humiliating as I thought.
So, boy or girl?
It doesn't matter, as long as it's healthy. Even if it's not, I could live with that. But I have been wondering about what it's going to be like when it grows up. You know, if it'll be like artistically inclined or musical.
He'll be a hell of an athlete. I bet.
He'll have the looks of Magnum P.I. and the mind of Albert Einstein.
Well, would you settle for the looks of Albert Einstein and the mind of Magnum?
I really don't have any expectations anymore. I mean, I thought my husband's business was going to skyrocket. But it didn't. And I really wanted to live in Newton. But the Charleston apartment's okay. And I thought I was going to have a van full of kids. But he couldn't.
That stinks. You've got nothing you wanted out of marriage.
Till now. My husband saved and saved to give me this baby.
Aren't you curious to know who the natural father is?
This is going to be our child. My husband's and mine. But what about you? Are you married?
No. And I don't think I'll ever be. So long.
Hey, how's the chimp, Chump?
On the road to recovery, thank you very much.
Of course, you and Dick had a symbiotic doctor-patient relationship. Maybe you should hit on the lady vet. She's obviously interested in Cro-Magnons.
We're going on a picnic this very afternoon.
Who's bringing the bananas?
Why are you so bent out of shape?
Okay, I'll tell you why. I'm losing patience with a couple of these patients of Blair's. Talk about your wishy-washy, no-guts approach to life. Doggone it, I'm gonna go in there and give them a piece of my mind. Mr. and Mrs. Blair, I'd like to talk to the two of you.
Before you say anything, Dr. Ehrlich, we apologize.
We don't know how you people have put up with us these past 5 months. We've been self-centered and totally uncooperative.
Yeah, but sure, we pay our bills, but that's not enough.
Ken has decided to go along with adopting a child.
I thought today I held a child who had no mother. He just walked right up to me and stretched out his arms. And I realized Terry could be his mother. She could love him and give him a home and a chance to grow. And so could I. I've been wanting a kid for the wrong reason. Being a parent is about giving, not having.
We have all the advantages in life. We should share them.
Sounds great. When do I move in?
We owe it all to you guys.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Stay in touch.
Yeah.
We will. Thank you.
What are you so happy about?
Something wonderful just happened here. Wonder what the hell it was.
Nurse Sharon Flynn, admission. Nurse Sharon Flynn, admission.
Luther, where are you going with that?
Either into storage or the incinerator, whatever I find first.
Why?
It was hanging in Mrs. Endicott's room. She said it was ugly, and if you ask me, I think she's right. Some man sneezes paint on a canvas, some bozo frames it, and you got art at any price.
I've had enough.
I'm entitled to an opinion.
Not from you, Mrs. Endicott. See that that gets stored.
Come in.
Mrs. Endicott, I'm Daniel Auslander, Chief of Services.
Well, I'm happy to know you.
This hospital serves 2,000 patients a day. We cannot accommodate the special needs of every single person.
I've been a part of the Endicott family for generations. You're not the first, although you may be the last, to sling mud at me. I must warn you, however, that I'm quite adept at dishing it out myself. We can either yell or talk, your choice.
I apologize for being rude.
I'm not naive, Dr. Auslander. I know such behavior masks a much deeper wound. Who was it in my family who compromised you?
It's not the point.
Even so, please tell me.
I was supposed to be appointed to the Board of Medical Quality Assurance by the governor. I was young. It would have been quite an honor. Apparently, however, your husband convinced the governor that the appointment should not go to a Jew. It was the most painful moment of my career.
My husband could be so blind. I'm afraid it won't mean anything to you now. But I'm sorry.
I won't disturb you any further.
Ah, I feel good. I'm so relieved Pat's tumor is benign and treatable. This whole Megillah with the gorilla has been really a nightmare. If it weren't for you, Elliot, I don't know how I'd have handled it.
Well, it was very important for me to help. I mean, I wish I could have done more. I really like you. A lot, really.
Elliot, you're different from most men. I knew that as soon as I met you in the emergency room. You're sensitive. When I'm with you, I forget I'm with a man.
Thanks.
I once had a relationship with this Quebecian guy named Guy. I really loved him. I thought we'd spend our lives together. Then one day I let him out for a walk and he never came back. I thought he got hit by a car, but I finally realized he just strayed into another yard.
Well, it hasn't been a great year for me relationship-wise either.
But that's what I mean. Pets are much less complicated. You feed them kibble and you rub their stomachs, and in return you get boundless affection.
Yeah, but once in a while, don't you feel like you're missing something? I'm willing to give humans another try.
I hope you find someone.
No, I meant...
I know what you meant. I've got to get back to Pat and Dick. Bye, Elliot.
Bye.
Boy was holding up.
Yeah. Pete kept whining about his daddy, so I brought him in, and there they are.
No, I heard Jack didn't learn to speak till he was 13 years old.
Yeah.
Then again, I didn't have much to say till I hit puberty myself.
Finished.
Rear window, right?
Yeah, you're a movie buff. You're well watched.
Well, I always felt safe in the darkness of a theater. Tucked away in the balcony with a girl. Fantasy of romance. Do people only live happily ever after in the movies?
Don't ask me. My favorite flick was Bonnie and Clyde. Get Pete home to bed. Gotta wash my hair, gotta do the dishes, study. It's a great life.
What about dinner?
Thought you were engaged.
Disengaged.
Yeah. I could do with some za on me.
With this little rugrat at the table, I think it'll be on everyone.
I want my mother to have that surgery.
Then you have a problem. She's against the whole thing.
Well, then it's up to us to change her mind. My family needs that woman alive. She's the ballast that keeps us all afloat.
If you talk to her and she tells me to operate, then I'll do it.
Fine. In my business, we have an obligation to take risks, especially if it involves the improvement of the quality of even a single life. I'd stand up to my whole constituency if I thought they didn't understand the long-term effects of a piece of legislation. Now, that may be politically risky, but I believe in the greater good.
That's a pretty speech, but what has it got to do with me?
Dr. Craig, I've had a chance to stroll around the grounds. You've got potholes in the parking lot, outdated elevators, let's face it. St. Eligius is in dire need of renovation. You help me convince my mother, and I'll see to it that this hospital gets a boost from Washington.
You don't want to lose, do you?
I never lose. Mind if we make a quick stop first? I want to drop this savings bond off at Mrs. Tillman's room.
Elliot, what happened?
My picnic in the park, someone left the cake out in the rain.
You have a good time?
Oh, yeah. Great.
Come in. Mrs. Endicott.
Sorry to disturb you.
I was coming down to see you shortly. I brought this in to remind you of the cape.
Oh, it's lovely.
It's my wife's work.
She's very talented.
Yes, she is. Thank you.
I have something for you, too. Congratulations. You've been officially appointed to the Board of Medical Quality Assurance.
How's that possible?
I don't pretend that this gesture can make up for your years of pain.
I appreciate the effort.
Actually, it just took a call to the governor. La Traviata. Mind if I listen?
Please.